when you match the wall, you know it's a great time to do a video. So hello everyone, I am back with some more books to talk about. Shocking, I know. I'm sure you saw the title of this video. Anyway, let's get into it. Today, I've got some cookbooks to talk about. And before I get started, let me also plug one of our online resources that you may or may not know about. If you go to our website, McFarlandLibrary.org, and go to the online resources section, you'll find something called A to Z Food America. That is a fun little database to poke around in. You can search by regions, by ethnicities. You find recipes, you find farmers market information. There are vintage food ads, food container photos, and vintage cookbooks that you can download the PDFs of. Super fun. I really recommend you check it out. You'll go down a rabbit hole and just have a good time. So A to Z Food America on our website. All right, so here are the books that I have to talk about. The first one that I want to mention is the Mitsitam Cafe Cookbook, Recipes from the Smithsonian National Museum of the American Indian. And that is a fern salad on the front. So just a couple recipes I want to point out. Actually, I fibbed. Here is a photo I want to point out. It is a view of a feast set up outdoors, 1999. Photo credit is Tom Jones, and this is a Ho-Chunk photo, Ho-Chunk, Wisconsin. So there are a lot of photos throughout the book that makes it a lot of fun to look at, even if you're not planning to make any of the recipes. The history is pretty cool too. One recipe that I have on my list is a tortilla soup recipe. I love tortilla soup. This looks delicious. I'm gonna try that out. So carne asada sandwiches with chimichurri sauce. And as you can see, there's some information along the side with the recipes that gives you more details on the background of the recipes, what you might want to serve it with, sometimes how ingredients were traditionally harvested by indigenous peoples, all sorts of things. So this is a cool cookbook to look through. The next one I have is very seasonally appropriate. It is the Pumpkin Cookbook, 139 recipes celebrating the versatility of pumpkin and other winter squash by D.D. Stovall. I love pumpkins. I love growing pumpkins. I love carving pumpkins. I love eating pumpkins. I love just looking at pumpkins. My birthday is in October, not that you need to know that, but I just really love pumpkins. It might be weird to have a favorite gourd, but I don't care. I'm leaning into my pumpkin love. So this has a lot of what I think are very delicious recipes, and a lot of seasonally appropriate stuff. It's not particularly cold yet, but you know, I don't know about anybody else, but these rainy days with the leaves that you trudge through that are all wet, it really makes you think, you know, some soup might be good. So one thing that really caught my eye in this is using the pumpkin as a serving bowl. They even tell you how to do that. I am not that classy. I am going to use a bowl that I pull out of my cupboard that is probably mismatched, and that's fine. But if you want to be extra fancy or have a really fun touch on your table, use the pumpkin as a soup bowl. Creamy kale pumpkin soup. That would look great in a pumpkin, and that would taste great in my tummy. So, yeah, sorry, my enthusiasm is getting a little bananas here, but golden pumpkin corn pudding. Anyone want to make that? Let me know how it turns out. Something that could be super fun here is pumpkin pizza with gorgonzola. I don't think I'm going to be able to get my 4-year-old to eat this because it is not plain cheese pizza. And also she only eats the cheese off of plain cheese pizza, but you know, that's not what this video is about. But pumpkin pizza with gorgonzola, that sounds like a flavor sensation. And of course there are, as you'd expect, a lot of dessert recipes in here too. So you might be surprised that some of these recipes are quite healthy too. You know, pumpkin is one of those bright yellow, bright orange vegetables. Good for you, got a lot of fiber. So yeah, check it out if you're looking for some seasonal recipes or year-round deliciousness. And the final cookbook I have to talk about is Pickled Herring and Pumpkin Pie, a 19th century cookbook for German immigrants to America by Henriette Davidis. Now, this is, you know, a reprint, obviously. very nice retro cover there. I love old recipe books, vintage recipe books. I have a bunch from my grandma. Like if you need help finding a 50s Jello recipe or a 1930s Brer Rabbit molasses drink recipe, oddly enough, I can hook you up. But one of the very interesting things I find about old recipes, and again, on A to Z Food America, you can download a whole bunch of vintage cookbooks. And I should point out, they're retyped, so they're legible. It's really fun to look at the original printing sometimes, but as you can imagine, that can be pretty hard to decipher once the pages are all yellow and probably covered in cooking stains. So this is one of those cookbooks that I like to flip through just for fun. I'm probably not going to make any recipes out of here. I am not going to make English calf's head or mock turtle ragu. It's not my thing. I wouldn't even know where to get a head, and I'm content not knowing that. But if you want something even to pickled pork, the recipe says is cooked in the same manner as directed for pickled beef. So if you like your meat pickled, options, plenty of options. But there's a lot of good stuff in here. Cauliflower salad, potato salad with bacon. Hello, yes, I would like to try that. Asparagus, there's an index, cakes and cookies. And one thing I'm gonna point out, if you get this hoping to make some of these recipes, this is that old-fashioned style of recipe that really assumes you know what you're doing. The directions are vague, let's put it that way. So, you might be the type of cook who this works absolutely fine for, or if you need a little step-by-step, this might be more of just a browsing cookbook, but still really fun to look at. Omelet with remnants of meat. I would love to serve that at my table using that recipe's full title. So anyway, we have a lot of cookbooks, and some of these are from other libraries because Delicious is not limited to McFarland, but you're really going to want to check out our cookbook collection too if you're comfortable coming in the library and browsing right now. We have so many options. Pies, baking, healthy, vegetarian, vegan, crock-pot, Instapot, grilling, just so many options. It's really fun to browse our cookbook section. So that is all I have for you today. Thanks for listening to my rambling excitement about pumpkins and vintage recipes. But if you try any of these out, let me know. Let me know what your favorite recipe might be from them, because I might have to try it too. All right, thanks everybody. Bye.